Alright, hi everyone. So this video will be sort of a walkthrough through my game. It's kind of an amateurish game. I used Visual Studio to make this game, and so it's not really a game developer software. So so there's no don't get too high hopes on this game. It's just a simple game for my discrete mathematics project. Alright, so let's open it. Alright, so the title is Let's Play with Ciphers, and it's just a simple-ish title, simple-ish title just for the project itself. So alright, there's background music. It's Conscious by Macrophone, so you can look that up on YouTube as well. Alright, so this game is 51 forms large. I did record a video previously, but at that time it was 48. Right now it's 51 forms large. Okay. Alright, so as the title says, this game is mostly about cryptography, and there are a few ciphers played here, 5 of them, which is the Pigpen cipher, Caesar cipher, shift cipher, block cipher, and Affine cipher. So there's two main functions of this app. The first one being arcade. Arcade is for the user to play all of the ciphers separately, so that you can get like a little warm up before you go on to the main game. Main game is the largest part of this ciphers app, and it's sort of like the type of games where you will have endings based on your choices. But as I've just said, I'm just an amateur, so there's just a few endings, and then also my laptop is getting jammed from much of the forms. Okay, so I'll just go through the functions of the buttons as well. Exit would just prompt you to whether you want to exit or not, and I'll be saying no. Alright, so pressing start will take you to this main page. The main page is where since the main functions of this app is main or arcade, so the prompts are just you can go ahead and play arcade, or you can go ahead to main. But main, okay, this tooltip here, play the main game of Let's Play with Ciphers. So the main game is the large game, and I'm doing this with my teammate. Software is done by me, but he's been doing all the behind work as well, a lot of it in fact. Okay, so for arcade, there's many little games. Play a few practice games with various ciphers here. So we really recommend playing arcade first, just to get a warm up before going on to main. Alright, so what are ciphers? Learn about ciphers and cryptography here. There's just a little bit of notes over here on what the ciphers are played are being about. Maintenance, you can ignore this one. This is something I'll get back to once this project is over. During my free time, I'll probably develop a little bit more about this app, because this app is pretty precious to me, I guess, because it's my first large app. I've just been taking 1 month of programming, so we haven't really been doing anything yet. Okay, so help is just tips in playing the game in this app. Back to main menu takes you back to the welcome screen. Okay, so let's go to help first. So how do we play here? This game is about deciphering messages using various types of ciphers. In what are ciphers, you can find the history of cryptography, the types of ciphers involved, and notes about it. However, you will also receive simple instructions on how to decipher the codes before you play. This one is not really, not really legit, I guess, because not many of them has instructions, and I think it would be better to play with someone who has cryptography knowledge, because it's a little bit difficult, but it'll give you some exposure about what cryptography is, which is the goal of the Discrete Math project. Yeah, so it's a sort of informational game, and I doubt that people play it for leisure, but well, it's just a project anyways. in arcade there are 5 types of ciphers, the ones I mentioned before, and there are 3 levels in each of the ciphers. They're called easy, normal, and hard, but they are not really the levels are not exactly based on the difficulty. It's random, but there is to some degree there's a level of difficulty. Okay, of difference. So in main, the game is a larger activity than the arcade ciphers and will require some level of mastery and combined knowledge to play. This help is sort of this help form is sort of written before the game ever came out. So this was the idea that I had, and fortunately I was able to follow this idea. Okay, so pressing OK will take you back here. What are ciphers? You can take a look here. Okay, so ciphers are codes. Everything here is not textbook. It's sort of like something that may help you understand better. You see, like you can use a code that only you and your friend knows. I doubt a textbook would say that. So the terms here, so this game is not meant for studying for exams. It's just to help understand. So you see, the terms I'm using may not mathematically be correct, but it's our everyday use of language. So what is cryptography? Process of converting plain text to ciphertext. There's some, to some degree, the terms will be explained. Yeah, so I think it's pretty clear. So plain text is this English or any language that you're familiar with. Ciphertext would convert it into something that's gibberish, but there is a format or a function that you follow so that you can change between these two. Normally, the decryption, converting plain text to ciphertext is encryption. Converting ciphertext to plain text is decryption. Decryption is usually the inverse function of plain text to ciphertext. So the stuff we use here, the ciphers that we use here, all has some sort of inverse format or function for you guys. Like it's easy to move from the encryption to the decryption function. Okay, so there are many methods, but only a few of them will be introduced and played here. So Pigpen isn't exactly in the Discrete Math syllabus, but it's it's sort of simple, so we included it too. The default language is English, so ciphertext will be in English and everything. So everything here is in English, sorry. So the Pigpen cipher is the odd one out here, where the ciphertext is in symbols rather than words. Yeah. Okay, so RSA encryption is not exactly included, but we just put it here. This may be something I'll get to once I have any free time, but most likely in the final product we won't be having RSA encryption. Okay, next page. So the next page you will find before that was pretty general, like ciphers, cryptography. What are the ciphers played here? So next we'll be going in a little bit deeper on the ciphers that are being played here. So Pigpen cipher is a collection of predefined symbols. Okay, we'll get to that a little later. So it's actually just a bunch of dots, and we'll show you later how to draw the Pigpen cipher. It's quite easy to create your own reference and to decrypt it yourself. So what are Caesar ciphers? Oh, it's a little bit blocks down here. So the decryption function will be the inverse. So in Visual Studio, sometimes that's why you gotta like run the program several times so that you can see how it looks like in real life. I mean, when the user is using it. So before that, it was actually clear, like everything could be seen, but right now it's not really that good. Okay, so see, the cipher was made by Julius Caesar. Yes. Alright, so his shift key is usually 3, but sometimes his in certain books his Caesar cipher is also known as shift cipher. So Caesar cipher over here would mean that it's shift 3. So for some reason a lot of books are saying that it's confirmed to be at 3, so we'll be referring to Caesar cipher as shift key 3. So that means if the shift key is of a particular number, you're going to move the alphabet 3 by 3. So A is represented as 0 in the mods, in the alphabet mod, and 25 is Z, because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So A0, Z is 25. So it's easy-ish. So A is 0, 0 plus 3 is 3, and 3 is C. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's D, sorry. So 3 is 3 will be represented. So next, shift cipher. Shift cipher will be the exact same as almost the same as Caesar cipher, but the key will be, well, not necessarily 3. So yeah, if the obtained number is more than 25, it is out of the alphabet, deduct it by 26. But this is not exactly the correct way of doing this process is called mod. So mods are actually, like if you get something more than 26, like for example 27, so 27 mod 26, the remainder that you will do, you obtain the remainder by dividing 27 by 27 by 26. You will get a remainder of 1, because yeah, 27 divided by 26, so the remainder is 1. Yes, so 27 mod 26 equals 1. So after the mod operation, you will obtain the remainder. So simply said, if you got 27, you can just deduct it by 26, because often the numbers that you get are usually not like more than twice of this. If you get something more than twice of this, then yeah, the mod would be operations would be very useful. But for now, if it's something like not even more than 26, then it would, by deducting 26 out, you would get something within the alphabet already. So there's no need to like, oh, 27 divided by 26, what's that? Oh, yeah. So you don't have to do that much operations. So if the obtained number is less than 0 after the decryption, you add it in by 26. This is also the same as the mod concept. Alright, next. Block cipher. Block cipher doesn't use mod operations, but they use permutation instead. So the format written would be the first letter of the block would become the third letter of the particular block. So every like if the message is more than 4 letters, the message will be separated into blocks of 4. So each block will have 4 letters, and then you will have as many blocks as you need to cover the entire message. You may get a block with maybe 3 letters, so that means it did not fulfill the 4 that you need per block. Then you can put it in with the dummy X. The letter X is usually used as a dummy. Okay, so decryption will be just switching the numbers around. For example, permutation 2 equals 5. Then the inverse would be the 5th letter becomes the 2nd. Okay. So what is an affine cipher? Affine cipher are almost like shift ciphers, except that there are multiplication operations. Yeah. So instead of being a shift, like simply like x minus something or x plus something, there will be a integer at the front of the x. So it'll be something like 5x plus something. So the operation is slightly more complicated, but yeah. So yeah, these are the 5 ciphers that we have in this game. RSA is still it's probably not going to be included at all, but it if I did update the app, then we'll probably be able to see that. Alright, so now we're gonna look through arcade. Okay. So arcade, this is the start of the game, and this is sort of walkthrough, so you guys can take a look. The video is gonna end up pretty long, but I think it's fine. You guys can skip forward if you don't want to look. I'll be playing the video as well. Okay, so this is the Pigpen cipher. There's a little reference here. So it's actually easy to create your own reference. First, you just draw a hash, 2 hashes, and then 2 crosses. Then you just fill up in alphabetical order, going starting from this, ending at this. So then the rightmost hashes will get dots in the middle. Okay, now we're gonna go look at easy. Alright, so the mechanism, like you're supposed to go through easy first, then before advancing to normal, because the questions here are written in the form of story. So if you're going like starting from somewhere else, then you won't be able to enjoy the full story, and also the meaning of the ciphers will be less clear. So what the mechanism of having you guys follow the levels is, if you click normal, you gotta input the answer in easy mode first. So that means if you've played easy mode, then you can access normal. And oh yeah, this is a sort of a mistake. I tried fixing it already, but it seems like after the Visual Studio didn't update the new one, so it's fine. Because in the program that I've run on Visual Studio, it did not this warning didn't appear. Alright, so the same goes to hard. Oh, it's actually not easy mode, it's normal mode. So if you want to go into hard, you gotta have normals, the normal modes answer. Okay, so this happens again. So let's go to easy. So we received our code. You can always go back to the video to refer it. Oops. Okay, so after that you can just type in the decryption, like what did you get from this. Okay, so there's sort of clear instructions here. Please type the answer for the question, all lowercase. So if there's no punctuation, like dot or something, then there's no need to put that in. Alright, we got it correct. So after that it will take us back here. Now you can just input the answer that you like answered for easy mode. Okay, this is the next video. There is background music for this, but it's fine. got it wrong, you will just remain over there until you get the answer. For the longer answers, usually we would recommend you copy the answer before you get out, because it will be really tedious to type it back. Okay, so this is the last one. Buttons here, I didn't really explain them, but you can actually stop the background music if it's bothering you. Okay, there's a code in the middle of the video, and at the end of it there's another. So usually when there's two answers in a video, we'll separate them with a comma. Okay, so you can stop the background music. See, it's silence. So for those who prefer, like, you know, to focus on the message itself, then you can stop it, or you can start it back. Instructions for this as well. Please type the answer for the question, all lowercase, separate the answer for two parts with a comma as in the example. So the comma should be done right after the word and space, then the second answer. So again, there's no punctuation over here, so we'll do it all lowercase, but make sure there's spaces. So we're correct. So now let's go on to see the cipher. The mode of answering is pretty much the same. So again, for accessing normal, you have to go through easy first. Okay, there's this problem again. So although the help had mentioned that there would be like some pointers here, but Caesar cipher is actually pretty clear. So there's none here, unlike Pigpen. Yeah, so this video function doesn't work. Wrong, sorry. This video function, there's no video for this, so I will have to remove this button. Okay. So this story is like abridged version of the original. I took it from someone, and credits will be given to the writer at the end. There's sort of like clashing music because the video in the previous form has not finished playing. So yes, the first story in Pigpen had music as well, but I'd prefer my background music. Okay, so the message here is pretty long. I am not going to go through the entire Caesar cipher here because yeah, so just to show you, these are the credits, yeah, the writers and the background. Okay, so I will leave Caesar cipher and I'll go straight to shift. Okay, so I'll go through the easy one as well because shift cipher is also pretty long. So for the shift key, it'll be displayed here instead of in the video. Again, the same book was used for this story, and credits will be given to the writer at the starting, where it's mentioned that this is an abridged version, as well as in the ending where there's the ending credits. Oh, so since there's silence, I'll just start it back up. The rest of the videos didn't have any music because I put more effort in the first part. I was planning to write stories for all of the ciphers, but it seems like I didn't really have enough time for that. Pages worth, so the answer is going to be pretty hellish as well. So on average, I think someone would spend about 1.5 to 2 hours on this game, which is pretty okay, but it's very informational. Okay, same writers, and the background is also from Google Images. Okay, so this is basically what's going to happen in shift cipher. So now I'm going to go straight to the main game. For the main game, I will be going through the entire thing because the main game is a little bit meaner, where you have to go through the entire game. There's no quit button except for the first 2 forms. Okay, let's play. So the background music is going to change since this part is actually pretty big, so there's a little bit of a pause. Okay, yes, it's written by me again. By the way, this app is 733 MB large. So it was actually jamming up my laptop really badly. So I was hoping that the forms could stay around this number, because any larger, I think I won't be able to work on it. For the making of the videos, I used Filmora, Wondershare Filmora. This story was sort of set in like maybe somewhere around the 20th century, I guess. video is pretty long. It's going on to 3 minutes. Only the shift ciphers videos were going past 3 minutes as well. So it seems like my dad has made some changes to the house. So it's gonna be, well, it's not really that creepy, but okay. So you can quit here. You can quit here. After this, you won't be able to quit. So this main game is a little bit mean. So rules of the main game. So the goal is to identify things that are sold, thrown, except the doors. So the first room we're gonna be seeing is the doors. Things that can be sold are those that have value. This is pretty subjective, so you can actually pick the items that you want to sell or throw, but there's only one fixed answer. But it's quite easy to distinguish things that have value and those that don't. Usually the ones that have value is those that, you know, if you're, like for example, you're going to move house, you can sell the sofas, the tables and so on, right? So the next value of the object will not be written, so players must determine if the object can be sold. The mode of answering is very much like in arcade mode. Okay, so you're just, instead of having an input box where you click and then the input box comes out, you will have to type it in the text box instead. So endings will be obtained according to your answer, so think carefully. Because this game is sort of simple, so there's only a few endings where you can pick from. Okay, so next, here are some tips. Spacings and commas matter, so comma after your answer, space it, the next answer, comma, space, and then the answer. So keep doing this as long as how many answers there are. So there's about 5 rooms here, including the doors. So there's only 4 other rooms that have these sort of answers. So yeah, so there's about 10 items per room, and there are hidden items as well, but it's not stated here. You'll have to it's stated here, so I'll go through this one first. And the last answer without a space. Okay, separate each answer with a comma. There should be no space in front of the comma and a space after the comma. So this is actually pretty specific. If the object is numbered, space the word and the number. So answer 1, comma, answer 2. So make sure there's a little space here. It's not really obvious in the app whether it's a comma or whether it's a full stop or a period. So you'll have to double check. Either you double check or just make sure you're typing it in as a comma in the first place, because when you get it wrong, you'll get an ending and then you'll get out of the main game immediately. So you'll gotta go through the entire process over again. So separate the categories with a semicolon. So because I was planning to do 3 text boxes to separate like sold, thrown, hidden, but I don't have the skill to do that. So I was just gonna put it in one text box. I mean, as I said, I only had 1 month of programming, so yeah, I am not skillful enough. So separate the categories with a semicolon. So after you have listed out all the thrown items, okay, semicolon, and then list out your sold items. But actually sold items comes with it. So it's sold, thrown, and hidden. So answer 1, answer 1, semicolon, answer 1. So the arrangement of the items matter. Arrange the translation in the answer box as directed in the room. The arrangement of the items is somewhat like how the items are arranged in the room. But if you got it wrong, there will be a hint that pops up. So just to help you. So after the hint pops up, you will know the arrangement of the items, but you will have to decide where your semicolon goes. The hidden items will follow the parent items arrangement. So the hint will only give up to all the parent items, which is about 10 items. So after that, the hidden items is sort of well, it's following the parent items arrangement. So from the hint, you will know the arrangement of the hidden items, but there will be no hint on how many are there. So you will be able to find the hidden items by hovering over the label. So it's pretty clear if there's something hidden there or if there's not. So just provide the answers that have been encrypted. For example, if it's like this, the only weird word here is erzo, which is gibberish in English. there's no such word to my knowledge. So our answer is bowl. So it's actually a bowl. So in your answer, you just input bowl. You don't have to type out this entire thing. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so these are the doors. There's nothing here. So pick one of the 6 doors and use shift cipher 7. So according to the instructions in the front, hovering is like a really big thing here. So you should hover over all the doors, labels. And the description here says with the page. Okay, so you're supposed to use shift cipher 7 to decide which door you're supposed to pick. Every other door that apart from the correct one leads you to an ending. So this door scenery is drawn by me, but I used a Google image reference. Okay, so this is the correct door. So clicking on the label will transfer you to the next form. So you've passed, and then now you've come to the drawing room. Okay, what are the things to be sold, thrown, and the hidden items? Use Caesar cipher. So when it says Caesar cipher here, you'll know it's the shift key 3. So okay, now we're gonna hover over everything and see what are the hidden items. Okay, it will do you, it'll be good if you can just hover a few more times, and it takes about 1 second for the tooltip to come out, so you've got to be patient. Okay, there seems to be something hidden here, so click on it. So you found a skewer. Okay, you'll have to use Caesar cipher to find out what's that. Here, okay, there's something hidden here as well. Okay, hidden. Oh, you found something. Okay, this couch doesn't seem to have anything. There's nothing here as well. Okay, there's something in this couch. You found an error. Okay. Okay, there's nothing on the tables and chairs. Oh, but there's something here. Okay. Alright, so now we've got, we found the stuff that has the hidden items, which is the pictures, the tank, this couch, and the floor or the carpet. Okay, so now we're going to list them out here. We'll start with the sold items. So it's kind of obvious what you could sell here, which are the big stuff. The tank is probably usable. I mean, like, they could be cleaned, right? And even if they're not clean, then they could be sold like as in a garage sale, and people don't necessarily have to know that this is a haunted house. Okay. So if you get one wrong here, you're going to be taken to an ending. So I'm trying my best not to make any mistakes. So I decided that the pictures are not going to be sold, and the hidden items. Okay, we're correct. So we'll be moving on to the next room. Okay. So what's this room? This is a kitchen. Oh, and this was also used. This was also referred from Google Images, and I painted. Okay, so now we're gonna see what are the hidden items. Okay, there's something here. There's a bottle of. Okay. What's this? It looks like a piece of canvas. Okay, there's something here. There's a beauty. Okay. Okay, there's two here. There's a lala of reddish brown substance. Seems like a reference to the aerosol mix. Okay, there's something here. Alright. So we got them all, and this one uses shape cipher 5. So this, I was planning to use Pigpen on this because, you know, pig and kitchen part. Well, okay. So, but Visual Studio didn't seem to support the use of symbols. So as a safety precaution, I used another cipher. Okay. So I decided to sell up to the kettle, and yeah, I'm gonna sell up to the kettle, and I'm gonna throw away all the cupboards. Well, throw maybe as in I left it in the house, I guess, because I doubt we could pull out the cupboards. They're probably damaged. I mean, look at the condition. Okay, I'm correct. So we'll move on. Oh, this is a dining area. There's pictures again. And it's affine cipher. Oh, 5x plus 8. Okay, fortunately, it's single digit, so it's simpler. Alright, so these are spider webs. Chairs. It's a pot with dead flowers. Wine glasses. Oh, wine glasses is something. Okay. Oh, there is something here. Okay. There's nothing on the chairs, and there seems to be only 3 hidden items. What about pictures? Okay, there's nothing on the pictures. Selling the wine glasses. This is the last room, is the cellar. So here we're using block cipher, so the transposition. So the positions of the letters we will change into these. So there are 4 in a block. So what you're going to do is to separate these in a block, like into a block of 4. So this will be 1 block, a door will be 1 block. Then you will be able to solve this. So in a particular block, this was what was used to encrypt these words. So you have to inverse it. Same with the others, because the inverse of an affine cipher will not be 5x plus 8. It'll be something else. So yeah. So here in the block, this will become so U is the second word. Yeah, so you will just do it like this. It's the inverse. So the first letter will become the second. Okay. Alright. Let's look at the hidden items. are supposed to be translated, but it's not here. Okay. Yay, so we don't have to worry about the hidden items. Well, it's actually not in that case, but it seems like I've neglected to fix them. Okay, so I will do so. So we're selling the cupboard and barrels, and we're throwing the sacks. Okay, we're correct. So if we were wrong, there'll be a hint. Alright, so this is the final video. I'll go through the block cipher and Affine cipher in the arcade mode later. I've forgotten to do so just now because, well, previously the game was, when I was testing out the game, we only had the above 3. So block cipher and Affine cipher was just finished. Alright, so the final ending. So I'll show you the other endings, like what happens. Okay, the doors. Let's click on another door. So it takes you to this ending, where, oh, it seems like your brother is the victim. Oh well. Okay, so basically the endings would result in a death, but the final ending was pretty, well, anticlimactic. Oh, we're mean. Someone killed him. Okay, that was very sad. So there is a difference between the other doors. You can take a look. I will just see one other door. The rest are the same. Oh look, okay, they shut the door, but what happened was that burnt flesh. So there's something like fire or something. There's actually an electric chair based on the translation. Okay, done. So, alright, let's see what happens when you get something inside wrong. Okay, pick the correct door. Okay, let's erase. They save the answers, provided that you do not exit the game beforehand. So if you got something wrong, like later than the drawing room, and if you got the drawing room correct, so the answer will be saved. So you can just press confirm. Okay, so this is the wrong answer. Let's go see. Okay, you are wrong. Okay, there's a hint. You can arrange it in the order of the piranha tank first, then the couches. Yeah. So it won't tell you like what are sold, what are hidden, what are thrown, and so on. You will still have to decrypt this, but it's just plain decryption at this point, and you don't really have to arrange them. You just choose where your semicolon goes. So maybe you want to, what if you want to sell up to just the chair, like here? Then you will be getting it wrong. But then at this point you can keep on testing where the semicolon goes. So yeah, it's simpler this way. Alright, so you go to a different ending. Oh, it seems like the siblings chickened out. But I'm not a brave person myself anyway, so I won't blame them. Okay, so in this ending, it seems like the dead are the villagers instead because of the brothers. Alright. Okay, we're done. So next, we'll just look through block and affine. Block and affine ciphers are relatively simple. Okay, let's go easy. See, it's just a scenario. John and Alex likes to use the block cipher in their message, and they always use the transposition. So now we know what messages are John and Alex sending each other. So what is John saying here? Is the exclamation mark is included in this block, the block cipher. Okay. So we'll just type the answer. Space the answer so that it forms a punctuated sentence. So you can't be leaving it in the block. You've got to make it so that it makes sense in the English language. So the exclamation mark included. So do not space the last word and the question mark. So the question mark must stick as in the English language punctuation rules. Okay. So the first answer was just how are you? Alright, the next scenario. Seems like Alex replied. The same transposition used. Okay. Alright, so John replied. There is punctuation here with a dot, so we gotta include that too. Okay, so we finished block cipher. Now let's go to affine. Affine will be a different scenario, but it's pretty much like block. Okay, so what's happening here? Emily likes to use the affine cipher to play a guess animal game with her sister. They often use the affine cipher function. 5x plus 8 as well. So what was the animal? Then we type in the answer. This is even simpler because it's not even a sentence, it's just words. So what's this animal? Alright, so now this is the final animal in hard mode. So we're just gonna solve it. Okay, so now we've played all of arcade mode. There's nothing in RSA. Alright, so that is all for this app, and well, okay, so that's about it.